First up is Plus One, personally recommended to me by the great Taika Waititi, and by personally I mean just generically on his Instagram to his millions of followers. Anyway, so this is a rom-com from last year starring people that you probably recognize, but I doubt you could say their names, unless you can read them right there, which you can read them right there. Anyway, this movie is freaking adorable. It's so cute. It does, I will 100% say, it does like every single rom-com trope that you can think of, but that doesn't take away from its cuteness. Like, she is hilarious. I love her so much. Her name is Maya, and then something that I can't pronounce. And everything she says is just hilarious. And then even like her serious scenes, they're legit really good. Like, I was close to tears. I didn't quite cry, but it was like, it was getting there. Had they not like pulled away to something else, I definitely would have. I was gonna cry. It was gonna happen. And then the dude, he did pretty good. His name, he did all right. He did fine. He did fine. That's what I'm gonna say. His name's Jack Quaid. I know him from The Boys. He's great in The Boys, and he does fine here. He holds his own. But again, she steals the show. The premise, which I realized I didn't say, is he has 6 weddings he needs to go to. She has 4 weddings she needs to go to, and they agree to go to all 10 weddings to be the plus one together, so it's not like a less hellish experience. And it was interesting because I found myself relating to both of them. Just like the struggles of dating and whatnot, even though I'm not trying to date right now because there's a global pandemic going on. Who wants to date in this climate? But in general, I did, related to them. I do want to also say my favorite parts of the movie though were at each wedding. It like starts each wedding by seeing like one of the toasts that like the best man or maid of honor gives, and those were freaking hilarious. They were consistently really funny. So to surmise, I really enjoyed it. Even though if you want to watch it, just be prepared. It's predictable. You know what's gonna happen. That doesn't take away from the adorableness of the movie. You definitely have to be in the mood for a rom-com if you're gonna watch this one. Also, she's great. Apparently, she co-created Pen 15 on Hulu, which I never had any interest in. But now that I've seen her in this, I'm definitely interested in it. I think that's gonna be one of the things I'll watch in the future. But I don't talk about TV shows on this. Anyway, okay, next movie. Alrighty, now on to Swiss Army Man. This movie, oh my god. So I first heard about it when it started making like the festival stuff, because people just were walking out of it because they were expecting, it has Daniel Radcliffe in it and also Paul Dano, but I think people were expecting more like Harry Potter-esque Daniel Radcliffe, and he is very much so not it. And I think kind of the more you know about the movie, the more prepared you are for what this movie is. People immediately walked out because at the end of the first scene, so Daniel Radcliffe plays a corpse, and throughout the first scene he starts farting, and then Paul Dano's like, oh, this is interesting, and then puts him in the water and then rides Daniel Radcliffe's corpse like a jet ski off into the sunset and it's all powered by farts, and it's ridiculous and whimsical and perfectly sums up the whole movie. Personally, I don't find farts funny at all. I've never have. Like, even as a little kid, it's just like, it's a natural thing that happens. It's like taking a pee. Like, taking a pee isn't funny. Why are farts funny? I never got it. But farting is actually really instrumental to what this whole movie is about. And actually, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to read a direct quote from a dude on Reddit who perfectly surmises the whole point of this entire movie. So the guy says, the regular urges and desires that everyone experiences can become unhealthy if repressed for too long. You gotta let that stuff out, even if the people around you don't appreciate it, because holding it in indefinitely will end up being more damaging and unhealthy, just like farts. That's the whole point of this movie. That was by Albert Berg on Reddit. Yeah, it's all about holding in farts. So yeah, this is a super weird, super strange movie, and it's whimsical, but not in the way you're thinking. Like, it's not like, ooh, fairies and stuff. But whimsical definitely perfectly describes this movie in the broader definition of it. I did quite enjoy it, and I think some of you will too. But you just gotta be in the right mindset. It's weird and creepy at times. But it's definitely a good movie. You just need to prepare yourself for what this movie is. Da, 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 da. Terminator Salvation. This is a 2009 movie starring Christian Bale, Sam Worthington, Anton Yelchin, Moon Bloodgood, who isn't a well-known actor but actually does really good in this. Helen Bonnet Carter, who's just kind of there for like 2 scenes for some reason. It's weird. Bryce Dallas Howard, who's pregnant in this. Interesting, like fake pregnant or real pregnant, which ties into the last time I talked about her. Michael Ironside, who's Michael Ironside, and Common, the rapper. Crazy. Look at that stacked cast. You'd think with a cast that amazing, this movie would be good. No. People on Reddit have been talking about like, this movie is better than you remember it. And I was like, yeah, I remember enjoying it back when it came out in 2009. Like, it was fine. It was good. I remember like the twist at the end, and I was like, oh, interesting. All right. So I kind of went into this, with an open mind, being like, all right, maybe it is kind of better or like decent and not a garbage trash fire. Those people are wrong. This movie is not good. It's not awful, but it's definitely not good. What I liked about it is I like the premise. I like that it takes place after Judgment Day. So it's not another freaking time travel movie where another Terminator came back in time to kill John Connor or his mom or someone else. It's about the actual apocalypse and them trying to do the resistance and stuff. I like that idea. That's a cool idea. That's about all I liked about the movie. If you apply any logic to what's happening, it all just comes falling apart. Like, okay, so one example of applying logic and everything falling apart is, so in this movie, Kyle Reese, John Carter's dad, if you're unfamiliar, is just a teenager, and he is literally no one. He's just living on the street with some little girl just trying to survive. But for whatever reason, he is the #1 person that the robots want to kill in this movie. Why is he #1? Well, because apparently the robots must know that he's going to eventually be John Carter's father, and they must know that John Carter is eventually going to be the savior of the resistance. How did they know that, though? Is John Carter telling everyone that robots were sent back in time to kill him because he's eventually going to be the savior of the resistance? Why is he telling everyone that? How do the robots know? Did one of the robots from the past tell them? One of the future robots from the past tell the present ones that all this stuff is going to happen? But if they already know how John Carter is born, they should know that it's their fault that John's born, because they sent a robot back in time to kill John's mom before he's born. But because they did that, they made John. So that whole paradoxical thing. So all they have to do, all the robots have to do to stop John Carter from being alive and not saving the resistance is don't invent time travel. That's literally all they have to do, and they win the day. All they have to do is just be like, all right, well, let's not invent time travel, and then poof, John Carter's just gone, and they win. That's all they have to do. There's so much more too. I could really rant about this for a while. There are decent parts of this movie, though. Like, I like the giant Terminator. That was cool. And like I said, Moon Bloodgood, I think she was solid. She was fine. She got weirdly sexual in a part that felt really inappropriate. And apparently the director's cut is even kind of worse with that. But I think she did solid. But yeah, this movie, it's not good. It's not awful, but it's not good. If you just turn off your brain, it's better. You don't think about anything. Yeah. Oh, wow.